On her sister Julia's birthday, Christina gifted a custom-designed gown, only to discover something far more sinister. With a single touch, Christina could now hear the true thoughts of her sister and niece. What began as a celebration quickly turned into a nightmare as the facade of family love crumbled, revealing greed and malice lurking beneath. As Christina grapples with this newfound ability, she's forced to confront the truth. The people she has trusted for years are far from the loving family they appear to be. Now, she must decide whether to stand her ground or continue being used as their personal ATM. I had given Julia a custom-designed gown, and she smiled warmly as she reached out to accept it. Her voice was soft and affectionate. "We're family, Christina. You shouldn't have spent so much on such an expensive gift. I feel guilty." But just as I brushed her fingertips, I heard her inner voice, sharp and venomous. She has millions from the relocation funds, and she only gives me this cheap dress? Ungrateful wretch. I blinked, stunned. Julia's outward appearance remained all sweetness and light, but her thoughts had hit me like a slap in the face. Trying to hide my shock, I glanced at my niece, Natalie, who was clinging to my arm with her signature innocent smile. "I want a gift too. Aunt Christina is always the best." As her words echoed in the air, her true thoughts broke through like a piercing wind. When is this woman going to die? Mom says once she's gone, all of her inheritance is mine. My heart pounded in disbelief. These two women, who I had treated like my closest family, were nothing but schemers plotting against me. It didn't take long to understand the connection between my touch and their thoughts. Anytime I touched them, their true feelings were revealed. "Christina, you're zoning out." Julia's sweet voice brought me back to the moment. She playfully tugged my sleeve. "Don't listen to Natalie, she's spoiled." Despite Julia's words sounding like a scolding, her thoughts were much different. Spoiling my daughter is your blessing. Be grateful for it. Her hand rested on mine, warm and inviting, yet the knowledge of her selfish thoughts sent a chill down my spine. To her, my money seemed to be an endless well, from which she and Natalie could drink freely. We moved to the dining table, Julia still beaming in the gown I had bought. If I hadn't heard her true feelings, I would have believed her performance. I sat in silence, trying to process everything. The room felt suffocating. Julia's voice droned on, casual and light, while Natalie casually tapped away on her phone. Suddenly, she looked up, a sly smile spreading across her face. "Aunt Christina, I want something too. It's only $8,000. Can you transfer the money to me?" She was barely a teenager, yet her sense of entitlement was staggering. In the past, I had always indulged her requests, but this time was different. I stared at her, unmoved. Natalie's smile faltered as she added sweetly, "Please?" Yet her thoughts seethed. Is this woman having a breakdown? Why isn't she giving me the money? I straightened in my chair and met her gaze. "No, Natalie, I won't." Her smile froze, and she looked at me in shock. "What did you say?" Julia's eyes flashed with annoyance as well, though she kept her voice calm. "I said no," I repeated. Tears instantly welled up in Natalie's eyes, her bottom lip trembling. The girl had always been a master at manipulation, and Julia, too, was quick to try damage control. "Christina, you've spoiled her enough. It's good you're finally saying no," Julia chimed in, but her thoughts whispered, "How dare you deny her? You've grown arrogant with that money." I pulled my hand away from Julia's touch, standing abruptly. "Why does your daughter keep asking me for money?" For the first time, Julia's smile cracked. But it wasn't anger or disappointment, it was fear. I knew exactly why Natalie kept asking me for money. Julia had trained her to. I continued, "She's your daughter. If she needs something, you should provide for her." Natalie's innocent facade shattered as she glared at me. "Didn't you say you'd treat me like your own daughter? How do you expect me to take care of you when you're old if you won't help me now?" Her voice dripped with bitterness. "You'll regret this when you're old and alone, you old fool," her inner voice hissed. I couldn't breathe, the weight of their betrayal suffocating me. I clutched my purse and turned toward the door. Enough was enough. "Christina," Julia's tone turned soft again, but her inner voice wasn't far behind. You think you can walk out? I haven't even asked for the big things yet. I paused at the door, then turned slowly. "Julia, I know you're after my money. Don't pretend otherwise. If you really cared about me, you wouldn't treat me like an ATM." Julia was momentarily caught off guard, but then her eyes gleamed with calculation. "I just want us to be close, Christina. We're all we have left now. You wouldn't turn your back on your family, would you?" Her words made my stomach churn. She wasn't asking for reconciliation, she was making sure her gravy train didn't disappear. "I've got a life to live, Julia. I said, turning the knob and stepping outside. And I won't spend it being used. Julia's voice echoed behind me, more a threat than a plea. Don't forget, Christina, you'll need us one day. Don't make enemies of your family. I kept walking, leaving the house, and with it, the years of manipulation and lies. As the door slammed behind me, I felt a strange sense of freedom, but it came with a growing fear. Now that I knew the truth about Julia and Natalie, I couldn't unhear it. Their thoughts haunted me like a shadow, and I couldn't shake the feeling that they wouldn't let go so easily. The streets were quiet as I walked back to my car, but an unsettling thought gnawed at me. What would happen when I touched someone else? Would I hear their thoughts too? And if I did, how long could I live with the constant knowledge of what people really thought of me? With each step, I realized this wasn't just about money anymore. I had uncovered something much darker, and I had no idea where it would lead me next. And then, as I opened the car door, I felt a hand on my shoulder. Christina, I froze. The game wasn't over yet.
Search 129844 on Novel Short to read book for free.